part 2 to what if Deku had the powers of Dino Squad. Or Dino Force, I think it was. Yeah, it was Dino Squad, I'm pretty sure. The powers of Dino Squad. So yeah, let's get ready. So basically, last time I explained Deku's origin and how he got his powers and how the first day of UA went. Now let's continue with the second day of UA of Deku going back to UA after going back home and going to sleep that night. So Deku goes into his house. Deku gets out of his house, waking up, late, but getting there on time to school, and basically, making it to UA. Deku walks into class one day and explains to the class, that was kind of late. Azawa scolds Deku and basically gives him double the work, and Deku, sits down. And pretty much, Azawa explains to the class that they're doing, quick combat training. They get ready and they get started. So basically, Deku goes back, Deku gets his hero costume after All Might steps in and pretty much explains to them that they're doing combat training. Azawa has already said that, and All Might says, I don't really care, and pretty much they start, telling everybody that, and pretty much All Might presses a button, and the suitcases pop out of the room, or the walls, and they get handed their hero costumes. Deku's hero costume is a little bit different from canon, but kind of the same. Deku's hero costume is something like this, a All Might inspired hero costume. It's kind of like his original. It's kind of like his costume from season 2. It's kind of like his costume from I think season 3. His costume that he wore during the whole entire USJ being attacked by the League of Villains, or him fighting Gentle Criminal. So yeah, so basically his hero costume is a little bit more enhanced. Now the gloves, and pretty much I'm gonna explain the reason for his hero costume. Now basically the gloves for this hero costume are actually fingerless, and also they allow Deku's hands to become claws, because every piece of the fabric on Deku's hero costume is a very stretchable fabric that's made out of the same material that's used for Mirio's shape-shifting or phasing abilities. So when Deku shape-shifts, his suit actually disappears and pretty much is compact into a small buckle onto his thing. So this whole entire suit, everything, the shoes and everything, are compact into the whole belt, the whole red belt. So basically, the belt just is like, it also has like a mechanism that makes it invisible to other people. So it's on Deku's dinosaur forms, but it's also waterproof, fireproof, bulletproof, and also it can stretch really far, about as big as maybe 10 skyscrapers molded together, and it can fit around that whole entire thing perfectly. So yeah, so basically Deku's suit is incredibly high tech because it can shapeshift and pretty much meld its body to Deku's transformations, meaning that Deku can transform freely. So when Deku transforms, this symbol on his chest, like this All Might type of symbol on his chest, is just around his dinosaur forms foreheads or chest, depending on what he transforms into. Now Deku in this What If will be transforming into more humanoid mixtures of his dinosaur forms that he showed off at the end of part 1. So basically, Deku also has the suit also channels wind pressure as Deku flies in his pterodactyl form. Deku's pterodactyl form absorbs wind pressure when it flies, or goes up against wind pressure. So wind pressure is absorbed into the belt and transferred to the gloves. So Deku can pull off the same moves that he can in canon using that flick attack or that Detroit smash. But it mostly depends on how much Deku transformed into the pterodactyl today, or that week and flew. So yeah. So basically Deku has to build up a lot of wind pressure to even get close to Deku's original, powers in canon. So yeah. So basically Deku gets into his costume and pretty much they say it's really cool. So, and Bakugo's it's a little bit too All Might it's a little bit too All Might Bakugo. Deku, it's a little bit too All Might. Pretty much everybody says yeah, and pretty much says, can you even wear that? I'm pretty sure that's copyright. And pretty much Deku says, I don't think it is. And All Might says, don't worry, kid, I won't sue you. And pretty much they get started. The base Deku is teamed up with Ochaku to take down what should I call it? To take down I think it was, yeah, also guys, the ship for this what if is going to be Deku and Froppy. Now basically Froppy does get a little bit of a crush on Deku because she thinks Deku's quirk is pretty cool. And basically, I forgot, the Jurassic World, the whole entire Jurassic Park movie franchise exists in this universe. So yeah, so basically, Deku, gets ready and they start. Tells Ochaku to hold off Ito while I take down Bakugo, because Deku wants to get paid back against Bakugo. Deku gets ready and basically sprints down the hallways trying to find Bakugo, eventually running into Bakugo. Now, let's get started. Now, basically, Deku gets into a fighting position, and Bakugo gets into a fighting position. It says, you're dead, Deku. And pretty much, I looked through that, and Bakugo ain't gonna kill anybody. He's too much of a wimp to do anything. But basically, Bakugo runs towards Deku, and Deku pretty much dodges Bakugo's attack and says, I'm not gonna transform because you're not worth my time. Bakugo gets really angry at this and says, what do you say? And pretty much does an explosion with all of his might towards Deku's face, pushing Deku into a concrete pillar. Deku gets back up, and basically Bakugo throws another explosion towards Deku, and Deku dodges. Deku transforms his right arm into a pterodactyl arm and scratches Bakugo's face. Deku detransforms his arm and punches Bakugo with a wind pressure attack that he pretty much channeled when he flew to UA on his pterodactyl form this morning when he was late. So basically, Deku dodges more attacks from Bakugo, eventually getting a solid hit in Bakugo's chest using his dinosaur humanoid form, and basically pushing Bakugo back with his humanoid dinosaur form, and basically running faster towards Bakugo, punching Bakugo and pummeling him into a wall, eventually punching him through the wall and kicking him down into the ground, kicking him down the floor into the lower ground, or the lower floor. Deku falls down through the hole where Bakugo was kicked through and lands on top of Bakugo. Bakugo coughs up a hefty amount of blood and pretty much pulls both of his gauntlets right into Deku's face and blows Deku out of his transformation into a wall, knocking out Deku seemingly. Now, basically, Deku isn't really knocked out. He's just, really injured and he can't get back up. Bakugo's about to put some tape around Deku's, body, or more or less. He's not really going to put tape around Deku's body. He's going to blow him up. But basically, Bakugo runs towards Deku, pretty much charging a bigger explosion than last time, using all of his strength. And Deku transforms into a humanoid version of himself, but a little bit more sleeker and designed to move a lot more faster, but not carry a heavier punch than his full humanoid transformation. Deku dodges Bakugo's attack, and pretty much Deku has turned half of his body into, or merged his human anatomy with the Velociraptor anatomy, pretty much giving him Velociraptor human-like legs, a tail of a Velociraptor, and human-like arms of a Velociraptor, with the claws and cutting technique and, quick reaction time as a Velociraptor, and moving as fast as, pretty much a dirt bike on the land. Pretty much Deku starts running around, kicking Bakugo with his talons and scratching Bakugo, and pretty much taking chunks of flesh along with them. Pretty much cutting up Bakugo. And Deku getting a lot more animalistic, and Deku's head starts transforming into a dinosaur form as well. Because Deku's arms and legs time lapse, so let's get into it. And basically Deku pretty much knocks out Bakugo, throwing a huge finishing blow towards Bakugo's, chest, before he goes all animalistic on Bakugo. Bakugo falls onto the ground and basically is knocked out. Deku slips back into his, human form, into his, regular clothing. Now, basically, Deku was just wearing a version of his hero costume, but without the lower pants and the sleeves. So yeah, comes back and basically runs up the stairs, basically imbuing a little bit of strength from a Velociraptor form into his legs, making his legs a little scaly. Deku starts running faster and eventually gets up to where Ida is fighting Ochaku. Ida's basically pummeling Ochaku in this version, and basically Ochaku was like straight up losing, like just losing against Ida. Ida, at this point, Ochaku wasn't really floating anybody because she was getting kicked the heck out. Like, she was getting kicked. I mean, like, Ida was like not holding back at all. Ida was holding back, but like he was just kicking Ochaku in the stomach directly, like over and over and over and over again. Eventually, just hoping that she would just knock out or give up because he didn't want to hit her anymore. Because he's a gentleman. But gentleman gets you knocked out. So Deku runs over to Ida and basically punches him in the chest as hard as possible using using Velociraptor arm, or using a humanoid Velociraptor arm from his, earlier transformation, basically punching Ida into a pillar, knocking him out, punching him through 2 pillars and knocking him out. Basically, Deku helps Ochaku up, and Ochaku was like internally bleeding, but don't worry, he didn't hit anything, super important, like Ochaku can still have kids and stuff like that. Basically, he didn't hit Ochaku with anything important. Deku pretty much runs to the bomb and grabs it, and basically hero team wins, villain team loses. Bakugo's angry at this and about to throw an explosion at Deku because, he pretty much knocked out Bakugo, and Bakugo was like super, he's a really, he's a bad loser. So basically, he's a poor sport. So basically, Bakugo throws an explosion at Deku, and Deku dodges it, transforming his whole body into a Velociraptor form, and basically scratches out, scratches out a little chunk of Bakugo's arm off. Deku falls down. Deku de-transforms into his, normal hero costume state, and basically Bakugo falls into the ground bleeding. Pretty much a recovery girl, runs in and helping up, Bakugo. Basically, what was it? All Might scolds Deku on, you should not be doing that, and basically Deku says, why not? He attacked me, and it was self-defense. So basically, All Might pretty much scolds Deku, and Deku just brushes it off, and basically, does listen to All Might's words, because in this universe, Deku is still kind of an All Might fan, is still a All Might fan, and basically, Deku, goes back home after the, combat training, and pretty much goes back into, his room. Basically, looking at all the designs of his hero costume, saying that, well, it worked out pretty well. Basically, his hero costume was, like, really cool, and if you guys think it was cool, comment down below. And, yeah, so, guys, I'm gonna leave it off here. Now, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and as always, guys, have a blessed day. But also, guys, I will be uploading 3 more what ifs after this video, and it's going to be, it's going to be what if Deku was Shazam, and also, I'm going to be doing what if Deku was Shazam part 1 and 2 in the same video. I'm also going to be uploading what if Deku was, what if Deku was, I think it was, oh yeah, what if Deku was a Greek legend? I'm going to be doing that directly after this video tomorrow evening or tomorrow morning. So yeah, or maybe the same night, depends on what my mood is. So yeah, so guys, yeah, so my third video is going to be what if Deku was, I think it was, what if Deku was Spider-Man, had Spider-Man's powers part 3 or part 4. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna leave it off here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys later. Also, but guys, before you go, I'm gonna be uploading what if Deku was an Invisible Man part 3. So yeah, yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. So yeah, guys, stay tuned for those videos. So guys, see you guys later. Bye. As always, guys, have a great day. Shout out to Coffee as well before I go. See you guys later. As always, guys, have a blessed day. Bye.